Well, we hit the gun a little early there, but welcome back to the crypto market update. Hopefully you guys are all doing fantastic. Welcome to the show. Today is, of course, November 26th, 2024. We have seen some very interesting price action. Of course, Bitcoin at a very important support level, and this is very deterministic for what's going to happen over the course of the next week. Are we going to see a bigger pullback, or are we going to bounce very aggressively from our first level of support? We're going to cover all of that as well as the key altcoin movements, answer your questions, and much, much more. Before we begin, if you find value in this content, come on, Justin, it's Tuesday. Let's get this going, man. It is, it's Thanksgiving weekend, right? We're going to talk about that here in a second. By the way, if you find value in this content, make sure to slap a like on today's video. It really helps push us up in the algorithm. And if you're sitting on the sidelines and you want to see this channel succeed, you want to see crypto succeed, please do your part. Go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Drop us a follow on Rumble and make sure to follow us on X as well at cracking_crypto. By the way, of course, it is Thanksgiving weekend. We have Thanksgiving coming up in just a couple of days. And as you guys know, I love me a good pot of egg noodles and I like me a smoked turkey. But it's not just about the food. This is such a contentious Thanksgiving where we have so many families that are socially distancing, to bring that term back, from others based on their political viewpoints. And I want to encourage you guys to not do that. We have been through ups and downs and wild swings, not only in Bitcoin's price, but throughout human history, throughout all civilizations. And the one common thing that seems to shine true throughout all of that is that we are social creatures. And if one thing in my experience as an American and as a human has taught me, it is that having a good, strong family network, a good, strong friend network, and in general, having good health is far more effective than any antidepressant drug. So and there's a lot of science to back that up too, up to 1.5 times more effective than antidepressants. So instead of secluding yourself, instead of sequestering yourself, instead of focusing on what is, best for you, whatever the heck that means, what's best for you is to have a robust network. All right. That is how you succeed in life. I get all kinds of alpha information just because I have lots of friends in the space. They show me opportunities. They show me trade setups that I never would have found on my own. And hopefully I provide the same for them. This is why I put out my alpha report every single morning. So as we move forward into Thanksgiving, make sure to give thanks. Be grateful. An attitude of gratitude is one of the most powerful tools to success. All right. I cannot tell you, every single day, I thank God for what I'm grateful for. And that is my attitude when I approach the markets. I understand that I don't deserve any winning trades. I understand that that's just not the case. All right. I go in, I do what I'm supposed to. I set up my trades and I go for it. And I am very confident that the same process and routine will work well. And I know because I've mentored thousands of students from across the world on how to construct profitable strategies. So with all of that out of the way, let's dive into today's report and let's get this thing cracking. All right. Let's real quick just cover briefly what's going on, and then we'll cover our morning report and essentially everything that we've got going on. By the way, shout outs to Mikado, Nitin, see you guys in the chat. Hopefully you guys are doing well. May you guys have good trades today. Looking at Bitcoin, we have a bullish 5-minute trend. The 10-minute trend is bearish, but it's actually, it's not bearish, it's indecisive. We are trying to flip the 10-minute to the upside. 30-minute is still bearish. We've got the 4-hour bullish. And then, of course, on to the daily, we are at the 10 daily exponential moving average, the 10 DEMA. This is going to be our most aggressive moving average. This is where we will see aggressive bounces. As we can see, every time prices pull back to the 10 DEMA, we have seen a bounce. Below that is going to be our 30 DEMA. Now, we have switched because we are in an uptrend. We have switched now. Take notes for those of you following along and using the CC-EMA indicator. That's the indicator that you see on the daily time frame and on the weekly time frame. That is applicable, that is available to everybody for free, not one of our premium indicators. Go slap that on your chart, very customizable. The way I have this set up and the way it's going to remain set up for the bull market, because I've done a lot of back testing on this, and the success and the pullback statistics on our moving averages shift when we are in the bull euphoria phase of the cycle. So we are not rocking the 21 and 55 anymore. For the remainder of this cycle, we are going to be rocking the 10, the 30, and the 50. All right, the 10, the 30, and the 50. A lot of reasons for that. I could speculate on why that is the case, why we just have a better success ratio when we switch from the 20 and the 55, which we typically do in bear markets, and which we will typically do when price is kind of consolidating and not in just this strong euphoric trend. But we are going to be using, like I said, the 10, the 30, and the 50 daily exponential moving averages. For now, we're going to continue rocking with the 21 and 55 super guppies, because I find that regardless, in any situation, in any time frame, not any time frame, in all situations, those are best on the lower and medium term time frames, just to gauge sentiment and current market trend. So just to repeat, on our daily time frames, it's most critical on the daily time frames, because that's where we're getting the bird's eye view, the big picture, and we're setting up our big swing trades. It's helpful on the weekly as well to get those big pullback spots, but again, the weekly time frame is really just there for reference and price prediction as well as targets. So daily time frame, we're switching from the 21 and 55 to the 10, the 30, and the 50 exponential moving averages, and as always, the 200 simple moving average. But then on our 5, 10, 30, and 4 hour, we're still rocking the super guppies, 21 and 55s. All right, so that's Bitcoin. What do we got for Ethereum? Ethereum, 5-minute bearish trend, 10-minute bearish trend, 30-minute bearish trend, 4-hour bullish trend. You can see the 4-hour is in that pullback zone right there. We can also see that the daily, of course, is also testing that 10 daily exponential moving average. So honestly, this is very simple, guys. Overall, when we're looking at the 4-hour, let's just zoom the 4-hour out a little bit here. We can see that our slow guppy band has been the level of support. Any pullbacks into this zone have been screaming buys, and I don't really see how that's any different right now. We've got a slight deviation below. So what we're probably going to see here, one of two options. I certainly do believe we're going to move up higher intraday. I am long. I posted that earlier, of course, in the Discord on X. And then, of course, the very first people who got it were the trading Trading Academy members. All right, I'll go over that report here shortly. I'm also long on XRP for the day. Of course, only the Academy members got that, and we're a little bit out of the buy zone, although we have pulled back just a little bit here in the short term. But you guys can see overall my trade setup here intraday, what we're looking for, what we're angling for. I do believe undoubtedly we are going to have a little bit of a bounce here from the 10 daily exponential moving average, and we're either going to see, and I'm just going to be a little bit hands off on this, you always want to give a lot of respect to the bull market. You want to give a lot of respect to the bull when the bull is charging. You know, so a lot of people are just absolutely freaking out. Oh my God, we're going to 80K. You can see I have 85,000 marked off on my chart. That is definitely a potential target. Why? Because that's where our 21 DEMA is. Of course, we're going to pull back there if we're going to slide lower. But we're at the 10 DEMA, a lot of bullish exuberance, a lot of people buying. I don't see how we don't have a little bit more of a sizable bounce from here. So the critical thing will be, does price just continue? Can we consolidate at 95.96? I'm expecting a rise to 95.96, and then what would make sense is if we are going to slowly head down to 85, is that we really struggle to get past that level. 95.96 is where our current strong levels of resistance are in the market, based on multiple factors. VPVR, we can see that's where everybody has positioned, and that's also just where technical resistance is at. So pulling back, retesting 95.96, we either reject from there, and I don't think we dump to 85,000. I do think that this market cycle will be different. I think we are, of course, going to have big pullbacks. This is only a 6% pullback so far, so it's not really a big crash. Coming down to 85 would be a big crash. I think that would be nice and healthy. I don't really see us getting significantly lower than that. There's also, of course, some support here at 90,000. So those things could happen over the next couple of days, you know, and historically we do have a sell-off on Thanksgiving. So just be prepared for that. So for right now, I'm just going to relax. You know, I've of course got my long-term, I of course have my spot positions, and I said this very clearly in my evening report yesterday, and I want to say it very clearly right now. And just to kind of forestall any questions, the cycle is not over. The cycle, the euphoria phase of the cycle is really just getting started. And so we're not, just for future reference, until I explicitly say so, when it comes to spot positions, so these are positions that you're not trading. This is your portfolio. These are your crypto holdings. These are the things that you bought when price was low, or you're continuing to buy as price is going up, and you're looking to cash out somewhat close to the top of the market, or when you feel that the market is beginning to enter into its bear cycle. We're not there yet. So I don't want to hear any talk about selling spot positions, certainly not Bitcoin. Now, of course, as always, you guys know that I am a Bitcoin maximalist and I am a altcoin speculator. I ultimately believe that it is going to be Bitcoin in the end that fully conquers and achieves above all of these other altcoins. But I think we've got decades and decades and decades of experimentation and speculation in the altcoin markets, looking at prototypes, looking at possibilities, looking at things that we would ultimately want to see in a system. system. And, you know, I'm not a closed-minded individual. I can see where there might be a purpose for a multi-blockchain system, but I think realistically, ultimately, all of that is eventually just going to be built on top of Bitcoin as a settlement layer. So unless we just see basically Bitcoin being used as the settlement layer, so basically the layer 0 or the layer 1, and then we have other experimental chains built on top, which is absolutely possible. The Bitcoin devs, I read their reports. They're currently experimenting with some really incredible things. We've already had colored coins. We already have Taproot. We already have Schnorr signatures. We already have ordinals. We already have atomicals. We already have BEP20. So we have all of the, you know, we have all of this stuff. You know, and we have Blockstack obviously building the layer 2 on top of Bitcoin, as well as some other projects. But of course, Blockstack, one of my favorite holds, one of my longest investments besides, not necessarily besides Bitcoin, but certainly getting up there. I invested in Blockstack's ICO in 2018, and I'm still holding. And yeah, Jordan Stotts, good morning to you, my friend. Okay, let's get back to the markets. And let's break things down. First, let's get the 5-minute up and go over the key levels for the day. We're just going to be looking at today. All right, overall, Bitcoin's point of control intraday is coming in at 92,500. You can see we were able to successfully flip this. So when I put out the signal to the Trading Academy members this morning, I recommended that they go long between 92 and 93. So we are long on the position in nice profits. We had our first blast into the high value area. Let's cover our key levels. Point of control, this is where the most volume has been traded intraday. It's currently sitting at 92,500. So we do want to see the bulls successfully defend this level. Getting down below 92,500 is a little bit speculative at this point, at least for an intraday push to the upside. We have VWAP currently sitting. Why do I not have my, what's going on here? Thank you. We have VWAP currently sitting at 93,159. So price is currently trading above VWAP. If we are not going to immediately push higher, which is completely fine, I would be looking to re-enter the position or add to the position here between VWAP and the point of control. So between 92,500 and between 93,200. If you're unpositioned, these are the levels that I would wait for, unless you want to enter on this pullback and bet on the bullish trend, which is also quite fine. But entering here, I would be managing risk here. I would be, you know, using very tight stops when we're entering on these types of pullbacks. That's the way I like to trade intraday. And then a little bit looser if we do get more of a pronounced pullback, that's fine. All right. And then, of course, consolidating below the point of control starts to look iffy for the day and does look like we aren't actually going to reach up to 95, 96. And like this would have been the area to load up on shorts, slightly below 95. But I do think we hit 95. I think hitting 95 is completely fine. We've got resistance there. No problem whatsoever. All right. So we've got our value area low coming in from $91,078 up to $92,116. That is going to be this zone right here. As we can see, that was the high value bid area of the day. We saw positions, long positions accumulate in this area. Our value area high is going to be between 94,268 and 95,313. So intraday, this is definitely the area that you want to be trying to sell at, scooping up positions, selling them up here. This is just simply how things are done intraday. Looking at our 10-minute chart, we can see that we have our technical levels of resistance coming in right at that $95,000 level. So I would like to see that get swept. I would like to see a little bit more upward progress here from Bitcoin, 95, 96. And then, of course, here's our 30-minute trade setup. As we can see, we entered down here, and we've got our three targets, 95,000, 95,800, and 96,300. And I'll be quite happy if price can do that. I'll be quite happy if price can just fill that gap. I will likely look to fill shorts at that level. I just think that's the principled decision, but I'm not married to that. I do really want to see what price action does, and I also want to see what the daily looks like tonight. And then, of course, looking at our 4-hour, we can see that since we broke out on election day, November 5th, we can see that we've maintained our super guppy uptrend. This is our first deviation below. So even if we are going to head down here to support between at approximately $85,000, I would expect us to bump here and put in a higher low at about 96,000. And then again, here on the daily time frame, we can just see we've held that nice 30 exponential moving average uptrend that currently is sitting right where support is at about 85,000. We have our first more significant about 6% sell off, and we're currently consolidating right at the 10 daily exponential moving average. I would just expect a bounce up, filling this gap between 95 and 96. And then if we are going to head for a move lower, that's when I would expect to see that. Correct, Nitin. Yes. Yes. Intraday, I'm expecting movements within 24 hours. All right. Looking at Ethereum. Similarly, Ethereum is consolidating. Currently, Ethereum's price is 3,330. This is actually the exact entry price that I had marked out. So I obviously put out the long signal for the Trading Academy members this morning. So this is quite perfect. We have our intraday point of control at 3,321. So we can see Ethereum attempting to flip that to the upside right now. We can see that the dives down below the point of control are getting shallower. Here's the most shallow one that we've seen so far. We've had a deviation to the upside. So I would expect price to move up above VWAP and make an entrance into today's high value area. Our VWAP is currently sitting at 3,364, so price is below that. So this is a good area of bidding. We can also see this vast amount of consolidation, letting us know that lots of positions are being put on, and we are just jockeying to see which side we can break out of. And seeing as Bitcoin has made a nice movement to the upside, I would expect Ethereum to follow along and again move up to our intraday targets. We have our value area low between 3,241 and 3,301. So that would be this value area low right now. You can see every time price made a dive into there, it got bought up quite nicely. Our value area high is going to be 3,426 to 3,486. And this is where we are going to be looking intraday to be exiting positions. Looking at our 10-minute time frame, we can see that we are trying to break up from the bearish trend. We've had a nice movement to the downside, some nice consolidation right here. We have basically resistance in this area right here around 3420, and I guess technical resistance, between 3450 and 3470 is okay to view it that way. 30-minute time frame, we can just see the simple trade setup right here. It'd be nice to actually see price get up to that 3460. It's possible that we don't get up that high. We do have kind of our cluster of resistance that's going to come in between our first two targets of 3360 and 3410, but overall that's not too troubling. And again, here on the 4-hour time frame, we can just see, this is a very bullish chart. Same thing, since Ethereum broke out on election day, it has maintained and found support at the guppy uptrend, and we have now just pulled back into that level again. So this is just a buy. Just period. It's just a buy. Hey Tyler, good to see you, my friend. Daily time frame as well, we can see all of our moving averages are beginning to flip bullish. Our 50 EMA has not crossed above the 200 simple moving average. That's completely fine. I think that Ethereum is, destined bound for an all-time high, probably new all-time here. Certainly within the next couple of months. The only question is whether we are going to, we found some consolidation here at previous resistance. Is price going to pull back into our previous support level here, which would be approximately around like 3,100. Currently, our 21 EMA is sitting at, our 30 EMA is sitting at 3,050. So, are we going to pull back here? Well, yes, most likely if Bitcoin is going to slide down. But again, we also don't necessarily have to see any dramatic movements from Bitcoin. Like, certainly we could say that this has been a dramatic movement from Bitcoin. That's totally fine to say. But at the same time, if we really want altcoins to fly, then what would be beautiful is if Bitcoin really just didn't do much. And I would say pulling back 5% is not really doing much. However, we also have to take that into account with the higher, much higher, we're at new all-time highs, much higher market capitalization. So 5% at the price point of the 90,000s is analogous to a 10% correction or a 15% correction at 60,000. All right. And it's analogous to like a 30 or 40% correction at like 30,000. So understanding that the higher something goes up, even though the movements down might become smaller percentage wise, they're still that significant. So even though it's only a 5 to 6% movement to the downside, this is still quite significant because Bitcoin's price is so high up. All right, let's check in with Solana. Again, Solana looking very similar to Ethereum here. I'm a little bit more bearish on Solana, but I will also want to take that with a big boulder of salt because we can't underestimate the power of the meme coin mania right now. Like, that's not stopping anytime soon. So that kind of creates this synthetic demand for Solana that is very that is very kind of hard to quantify, to be quite honest with you. But anyways, intraday Solana is currently consolidating a little bit below its point of control. We can see that the market is attempting to move up. We are making higher lows and higher highs. We currently have short-term resistance at about $232.50, which is just, again, we're consolidating at VWAP. We're consolidating at the point of control. So I don't, kind of the opportunity for a more advantageous intraday trade for Solana is kind of past, you know, because we are at the VWAP and we are at the point of control. And this is kind of like the no man's land. If you're going to be swinging long intraday, then you want to be bidding down here and you want to be exiting here. And it's just a little bit more dangerous to be going intraday and you're just looking for a breakout. But again, there is that nice kind of breakout trade on the table. You know, either you can be looking for the breakout above the point of control or be looking for the technical break of current resistance, like I said, about 232.50, and then just managing risk directly below like kind of the most previous low on that breakout, which would be about 230. So that's totally fine. Currently, our value area low is going to be 230 to 225. I don't think we're going to come back down here today, unless, of course, Bitcoin just wants to tank and really kind of undo all this progress that we've made so far intraday. Our value area high is going to be 236 to 241. So this is where we're going to be exiting intraday long positions. Pretty simple. Looking at the 10-minute time frame, of course, that 5-minute time frame is attempting to flip bullish. It's currently indecisive. We have our 10-minute time frame, which is bearish, but it is also indecisive, just trying to flip bullish. We have our most significant level of resistance here at 241.15. So again, kind of similar setup to Bitcoin. You know, if the market's going to put in a lower high and then head lower, that's where I'd be targeting for intraday. That's where I'd be targeting for longs over the next day or two. 30-minute time frame is bearish. We haven't successfully been able to break above, currently making lower lows and lower highs. Although again, I do think that this sell-off here is significant. Kind of nice volume. What's the word I'm looking for? Pinnacle, zenith, climax. Kind of a nice selling climax here that we've seen. And I would expect that we get a little bit more than this reactionary bounce to the upside. I think it's going to follow along with the markets. 4-hour time frame as well. I mean, same story here across all the assets. We see this nice explosive movement up and this huge rally following the election on November 5th. This is the most significant pullback that Solana's had since then. And we have now deviated outside of the guppy bands. The 4-hour trend is still bullish here. And of course, we have kind of rested on support. Again, nice selling climax. We can see that big wick on the 4-hour time frame and attempting to charge back up. So again, I kind of expect the selling to take a bit of a pause now here, and I do expect to put in a little bit of a lower high. Who's saying this is dramatic? Y'all here pretty soon we're gonna see that 30% drop. Tell you what. Absolutely, man. Daily time frame as well, we can see we're still in an uptrend, although price has now closed down below, opened and closed below the 10 daily exponential moving average. I don't really think this means too much because Solana was much more overextended because of the demand to participate in the meme coin mania that's going on primarily on Solana. We do, of course, have our 30 exponential moving average coming in at about 214. So I would consider that strong support. We also had kind of this previous consolidation area over here. So I would expect Solana to find a nice bounce either now with the rest of the market or if not, certainly at that 215 level. XRP looking very similar to Solana here. Again, you know, I had signaled so the two trades that I called, or what was it, 3 trades? I called Bitcoin, I called Ethereum, and I called XRP. Yeah, I called Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP long today. You know, we've already kind of moved up nicely from those areas, and again, similar to Solana here, XRP is in a bit of a no man's land for entry here for intraday. Same kind of setup with a double top resistance here. I'm just attempting to grind higher. I think XRP will actually probably maybe even put in a little bit of a move here and retest support here at maybe $1.34, and that could be a good entry opportunity to swing up into the value area high for the day. Current point of control is coming in at 138, so it's actually acting as resistance right now. So we do have this level of resistance here where we had a lot of people long position and they got smoked. So they're probably trying to exit now at break even. And so just the battle between the market is between those who entered long and got smoked and are trying to get out now at break even, and those who are trying to push the market higher. I think those who push the market higher will win, but it's possible we get a little bit of a breather here. So XRP still might be a good buy intraday if we can get price to come back down a little bit more. Point of control at 138. 138.60. Like I said, VWAP right below that at 137. Our value area low is going to be 126 to 131. Again, I don't think we get another opportunity to bid that today, but maybe, you know, maybe this area right here, 133 to 134, could be a good entry opportunity if we do get a pullback here. Value area high is going to come in at 142 to 148. You can see I'm actually swinging for $1.50 right now. We can see that here, trade set up on the 30-minute time frame, and we entered down here. The group entered down here at about 134.67. And so if we do get another pullback, I'll probably add to the position if price does pull back, and that could be a good opportunity for you guys to enter as well. As you can see, we have pretty strong support here at $1.28. So that's where I'm currently managing risk intraday. And again, just like the Ethereum chart, what do we have here? Nice bullish uptrend, pullback into the buy zone. It's just this is how you trade uptrends, guys. You know, you buy pullbacks. Sometimes the dip keeps on dipping, and you cut your losses as quick as you can, and then you just wait. It's trading doesn't have to be that difficult, guys. As we can see here, 4 days of sell off to the 10 daily exponential moving average. So again, would be expecting to see a nice bounce here. Pretty volatile. You can see a lot of battling between the bulls and the bears here, but we've had a nice pullback on XRP, and let's see if we can make another leg higher. That's about it. Dogecoin. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Dogecoin. We'll cover Dogecoin here as well. Dogecoin, as we can see, I mean, very, very similar looking chart. Let's make sure our VRVP continues to load. Nice looking chart here from on Dogecoin. We've actually flipped the VRVP. Dogecoin's had a nice pullback. I actually took a continuation swing long, my buy high and sell higher strategy, but unfortunately Doge did pull back on our daily swing trade and I got stopped out. That's okay. I had winning trades on Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin. I can't even mention all the rest. But overall, yeah, so Doge is consolidating above its point of control at 0.379, consolidating at VWAP at 0.386, value area low coming in at 0.35 to 0.37, and our value area high is about 40 cents to about 41 cents. So that's where we're trying to get out intraday. Not long Doge intraday. Doge is one of my largest spot holdings though, so full disclosure there. All right. Looking at kind of the coins, the hot coins that we've been following right now, GOAT meme coin is in a downtrend, is currently at support at around 72 cents, and it's pulled back quite a bit. So down about 50%. That's typically not a bad area to start, getting into a position on GOAT if you are confident that we're going to make a move higher. Looking at BOEM. I think BOEM's going to do a whole lot more this cycle. Again, we kind of hit that same level of resistance that we had at about 0.112. We are pulling back. This would kind of be trend line support right here, our diagonal support. Hopefully we make a higher low here. Currently trading about 0.85. Cardano's pulled back into the buy zone. Pepe actually broke down from a descending triangle at the top, but this could just be a deviation and a push higher following. XLM is also pulled back to the buy zone at about 0.44. Hedera hash graph is pulled back to the buy zone at about 0.13. Ohm, very similar to Pepe, is consolidating in that descending triangle after a big pump. But unlike Pepe, it is actually looking like it's attempting to make a break here over the last 4 hours to the upside. And Algorand as well pulled back into the 4-hour buy zone. All right, looking at global markets, we do have gold making a move down for the day. Nothing super significant. Gold still in a nice uptrend. So not just trying to break down, I think, from its current level of consolidation. And I think a lot of this has to do with Trump's appointment of the new Treasury Secretary. New Treasury Secretary, who I think is a fantastic pick, has definitely generated a lot of excitement for the stock market. And so the theory that I heard people saying is that, funds were actually kind of pulling out of gold, Bitcoin, silver, and commodities and flowing into the stock market. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. Certainly with the SPY attempting to make a higher high for the day, all-time high, and looking at the NASDAQ, lagging a little bit behind the SPY, to be quite honest with you, but still looking quite healthy. Silver is also down for the day. Oil futures are straight chilling at 68.34, but again, I've already made my prediction on oil futures quite clear. I do think we move lower to 52.44 and maybe even 34. Right here, as you guys can see, we have this nicely marked out. Kind of looking to reconsider that if we can break above 87, but I find that unlikely at this point in time. I don't see how oil cannot go lower. Again, looking at the SPY, looking to push higher, currently sitting at 62.95. We gapped higher intraday, sold off back down to the opening of the gap and pumped right back up to open. Similar with the Qs, looking at the NASDAQ, we did gap a little bit higher and pulling back. So, and natural gas, again, you guys know I'm extremely bullish on natural gas. I think natural gas is going to be probably one of my best commodity trades of 2025 if everything works out the way that I want it to, but I digress. Looking at strategies today, Mink strategy has been pretty much crushing it on BTC. Short signal, take profit, short signal, take profit, short signal, take profit, continuation short, short signal, take profit signal. Minx is currently flat, but it's absolutely decimated this movement to the downside. Let's look at how it's done on Ethereum. Let's see here. I don't see why this wouldn't have been a short. That would have been a short signal. Take profit, short signal loss. Take profit, Ethereum, continuation. Not too bad, you know, obviously did the uptrend very well, caught this okay, short of the bottom there, along the top there, and then caught that movement pretty nicely. So a little bit hit and miss on Ethereum. Of course, the strategy is tuned for Bitcoin. Solana, it looks like it's crushed pretty well. Yeah, short signal, take profit, short signal, take profit, short signal, take profit. Yeah, so our Mink strategy, it's available to all of our Crypto Trading Academy members. That's been absolutely crushing it out there. Let's look at the time transformation strategy on Bitcoin. All right, low impulse volatility, break to the upside, and bearish divergence, so exiting. Sorry guys, hold on just a second. Sell signal, impulsive volatility, exit here. Yeah, time transformation has done pretty good on BTC. All right, and then obviously, if you guys know, grass is moving up. Grass back to $3. You guys will know I called this at $2. Grass doing fantastic. I think grass is going to be a $7 asset by the end of the year, so looking pretty fantastic there. Looking at some of our other price predictions, what do we got? Yeah, Doge's price prediction. Yep, just as expected. Of course, we have had that fifth leg. If we're going to see what I think we might see broadly, eventually we might see Doge pull back to about 26, 25 cents. And then we've got further upside. We've got upside targets. I think Doge usually hits pretty close to $2, I think, over the long run in this cycle, which would be another 423% I'm expecting out of Doge. And we might even hit $3, but I mean, $1 certainly, inevitably. So that's just 50% up from here. Or excuse me, that's a 2x from here. From current price to just $1 is a 2x, which I think is impossible not to happen. So that's about all we've got for right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's the big overall market watch today. Let's zoom back. Oh, I guess we can also look at, I need to fix that one. MVRV currently sitting at 2.66, so we're nowhere near previous bull market tops. Bitcoin volatility index is actually moving down a little bit for the day at 59.15. And I think this is SO. Yeah. And we have our percentage of circulating supply that has not moved in a year, again, trending down nicely, which is indicative of the euphoria phase of the market. SOPR is currently sitting at 1.03. Nothing too crazy there. Nothing for me that's marking a local top, although this spike would have. And looking at dominance. Ooh, are my dominance indicators working again finally? No. I got to look at the programming. There's something wrong. I must have removed something. Yeah. Bitcoin's dominance just again continuing to oscillate between like 60 and 59%. Solana's dominance consolidating. And Ethereum's dominance has moved up a little bit, but really hasn't reversed its downtrend. All right, so let's go back to Bitcoin, to our market watch. Look like we're getting a bit of selling here from BTC back at VWAP. All right, let's see if we can defend the point of control or make a higher low for the day. And maintain this nice higher low uptrend. Otherwise, unfortunately, that might have been it, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. All right, back down below the point of control intraday. That's fine. So we are now kind of getting into buy territory for BTC. All right, let's chill, talk about chat for a little bit before we keep going, before we continue to go through Twitter and whatnot. Jordan asks, are you trade pairing with BTC or only Tether? You're asking if I'm using inverse perpetuals or it doesn't really matter, or USDT margin contracts. So I am using on BYDFi, I am using USDT trading. It's just a little bit simpler. What I use my BTC for in my portfolio is occasionally I will use that. I will typically use BTC to lever up my long positions, but I only do that when we get big pullbacks. So usually at about 3x leverage or 5x leverage, depending on the pullback, I'll use portions of my BTC to ratchet up my overall leverage to the upside. With the caveat that is quite high risk because we're talking about large portions of my portfolio. And again, when you're just looking to be able to make $500 a day, make $1,000 a day, make $5,000 a day, whatever it is from trading, you can do that nice and simply and avoid all kinds of volatility and avoid being married to kind of the long-term prospects with our short-term trading or our daily swing trading by holding your wealth in USDT. Makes your capital more quickly deployable. Tyler says, hey, I started to take profits last week and think about getting into metals to preserve value. But of course, I'm a trader at heart, so looking for a good entry. Please look at gold and silver 1 day, 1 week. Yeah. Well, so here's the problem with gold and silver. Gold and silver have been on a nice tear. And so we really just have to get into the realm of speculation. All right. So we have to ask ourselves, with gold, gold's at a beautiful price right now. So again, we have a nice weekly uptrend. I think everything's fine. But the problem with gold is that gold and silver thrive in terms of market uncertainty. So this is not always the case, but the general bias is that gold and silver go up as the stock market goes down. And whenever there's lots of uncertainty, gold and silver go up. But unfortunately for gold and silver, what we're really seeing, and of course it will take time for all of this to pan out, but certainly what we've seen initially from the market is exuberant enthusiasm and confidence in Donald Trump's economic plan, in America's economic plan. So the idea certainly is percolating that the stock market is going to be very robust and doing very well with big things like corporate tax cuts and with an overall just a big income tax reduction across the board and the introductions of negotiating tariffs. I think that's going to be quite good. However, so in that sense, I would say that gold and silver don't really have the fundamental desire to rise based on US market activity. But then if we kind of zoom out and we look at, for example, Ray Dalio put out a post yesterday about what he kind of foresees for global markets, being the case that Donald Trump has gotten elected. And, he had some interesting ideas where he essentially said that we're going to see a little bit more, that we're kind of exiting the era of the United States being the big brother of the world. And that we're going to be entering an era now where other nations are going to be viewed a little bit more critically by the United States as either ally or enemy, and similarly to the other great powers like Russia and China. And we're going to see the world kind of segment a little bit more from a, the way he put this was from an international order kind of established post, World War II, where we had kind of international governing bodies like the UN, for example. And we're kind of, the fact that America wants to go more nationalistic, more protectionism, and more America first, we're now seeing them kind of overall, at least with this presidency, and I think this is likely to be a trend that continues, largely abandon that model. So we will see a lot more kind of shifting loyalties, and we'll just see a very different, international order for the next 10 years. And with that being said, that might actually be a strong impulsive catalyst for gold and silver to continue rising in value, because similar for Bitcoin, because they're just international currencies. They're not tied to fiat. And if countries are going to be a little bit more antagonistic, right? And if, small proxy wars or small wars are going to be fought in various places, well, that makes gold and silver pretty attractive to hold on to. So, I mean, listen, I'm a long-term bull on gold and silver. I think, if you want my personal opinion, it's absolutely fine to DCA into metals. Again, gold, I think, is fantastic. Would I, at this point in time, make a big portfolio play into gold? I can't say that I would. If you were going to ask kind of what I think is going to be, I already have made a big portfolio play. My big portfolio play is natural gas. Oh, that's the cues, sorry. My big portfolio play is natural gas. I think that natural gas is going to move higher. This is UNG. This is the ETF. I think that UNG is about to do something very similar to this, where it moved up about 278%. And UNG is currently trading at about $14.83. Or I would be shorting oil. I think oil is going to move down. UNG is an ETF. I mean, you can get it on Robinhood, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, whatever your broker is. Yeah, just whatever traditional exchange broker. I mean, I highly recommend Charles Schwab. Oh, we don't have the music going on. Hey, give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be right back. And we're back. FYI asks, is it true that America will buy 1 million Bitcoin? So it is not confirmed yet, but I think the odds of it coming into fruition are very, very likely. Cynthia Loomis from the House of Representatives has currently introduced a bill. Oh, no, she's a senator. Has currently introduced a bill, the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Act, which would require that the United States Treasury will purchase 5% of Bitcoin supply over the next 5 years, which creates incredible buying pressure on Bitcoin. In addition to Michael Saylor's infinite money glitch, of course. So yeah, there is incredible upwards price pressure on Bitcoin fundamentally at this point in time. And I think the cycle is far from over. Let's say you are going to start to DCA into gold 1% of alt profits per week, but then be looking for a biggish pullback on the daily to go in larger. What price would you watch for? Okay. I just want to couch this. All right. I'm not a big gold trader. I'm not a big silver trader. I've always just bought gold and silver as part of my regular portfolio over time. I've been buying gold and silver just like Bitcoin since 2016 when I really started to actively invest. I mean, look at this tear that gold went on from 2001 to 2011. That was a 10-year tear. And same here from 1970 to 1980. Again, another 10-year tear. And so the bear market lasted from 1980 to 2000. So 10 years of charge, 20 years of sideways. So we peaked in 2011 and we had about an 8-year bear market on gold. And now we've been pushing up since 2018. No, I mean, to be quite honest with you, you're a noob asking a noob. I don't really think that I have any alpha in the sense of expecting what gold prices will do, to be quite honest with you. It's really just not my speciality, and so I'm hesitant to give advice. But you know, just beyond like our simple investing things, like look, you know, gold seems to be in an uptrend right now. So I would probably size up more on dips down into our guppies, into our important moving averages. And we can even get, you know, something like, you know, I think for something like this, our EMAs might actually be a little bit more appropriate. Yeah, so I mean, if we were to see gold pull back to something like 1,980, I would probably be a big good load up. Just 200 simple moving average, because we are in an uptrend. But unless gold crashes, which could be an opportunity, likely, you know, the pullback is going to be the 200 creeping up. And I mean, listen, you don't want to undercount so here's an example, right? So here's gold on its 10-year tear. Here's the big crash down to the proximity of the 200 SMA. But other than that, and just if we're in an uptrend and gold's going to continue ripping, kind of for the same reasons that we expect Bitcoin to rip, right? Of course, with Bitcoin, we have a little bit more specific US focused catalyst, which is the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Act. And then, of course, Elon Musk and President Trump being very pro-crypto, Gary Gensler stepping down from the SEC, you know, crypto regulation dramatically changing in the United States, the promotion of US crypto companies, all of these, you know, really concrete fundamental catalysts that we can point to and be like, yes, buy Bitcoin, duh. I don't really have anything like that for gold. Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit I'm just a little bit more gold uneducated when it comes to that. So just kind of the standard advice, man. I would DCA into gold on dips, you know, down to our 21.55 EMA, which, you know, looking at previous bull market rips, which we certainly could be in the midst of one right now, has just been an overly whelming successful strategy, just like it's an overly whelming successful strategy on any trending asset. And then, of course, you know, anything that comes down close to the 200 SMA, good to go. And then, you know, very similar, like, look, like kind of the trajectory of what a bear market looks like is very clear. So you can either choose to hold through this and buy on the way down, or you can just choose to kind of, you know, de-risk at this point in time once you see price below the 200 SMA, because I don't really think there's any, I don't think there's really any strong example. Well, there. So that was quite a while ago. Yeah, so just kind of looking at the modern market, it seems like anytime, you know, price goes below 200 SMA, you know, you're out. And then once we kind of start trading above it, you buy dips below, and then you just keep buying these dips once we get into a nice strong trend. So I don't want to disbelieve that what we're seeing right now could be the beginning or part of, because certainly, you know, we've been maintaining support ever since 2019. So I think I would just give you that typical bull market strategy advice. You know, focus on purchasing dips down to our major moving averages and look to size up very mightily if in the event that we get some kind of big sell off down to the 200 SMA. I just don't really see gold losing international demand. I think gold's going to have strong international demand, even if we don't really see that buying from the US markets. I mean, I think there's going to be so much pressure for the stability and sovereignty of gold, especially if we're going to be entering into an era where there is more geopolitical conflict because the United States isn't playing policeman of the world. You know, the United States has effectively, I think, you know, and Europe is weak, right? And entangled in their own, you know, their own problems. Militarily weak is what I mean. And, you know, you're going to have the United States facing off against China probably within the next 5 decades, in some way, shape, or form, unless we can come to some form of peace. But I mean, it's the ancient, it's the classic struggle of capitalism versus communism. I just don't see how that. I would like it to not end in war, but I don't think that those two. I find it very hard to believe that that realistically those are two mutually compatible types of civilization that can share the same planet. You know, I think humanity is ultimately in its quest to find, you know, goodness and truth and what works best for humanity. And, you know, the way that looks, you know, in day-to-day life is sometimes not so pleasant. I don't think there's going to be any lack of demand for gold, particularly from the international community moving forward. Whereas I think we're going to see a similar interest in demand for Bitcoin from the local community moving forward. All right, let's check back in with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has successfully made it down to the point of control, chilling. So pretty big sell-off from almost hitting 95,000. And we just barely missed our first target. So we are back at the entry point. So, you know, if Bitcoin, of course, did put in that nice little bounce there, it wasn't super significant. So like I said earlier, if these trades don't play out, and we don't have this bounce, which this is fine, right? You know, resizing. What did we? I'm sure we grabbed liquidations there, right? So let's go see. We grabbed liquidations. Yeah, so we grabbed short-term liquidations. We pulled back. We just grabbed long liquidations right here. So this is a pretty good bounce area. We see this happen a lot. Price moves up, makes its initial liquidations. You know, this is where I'm really looking at 95,865. We've got a $47 million in liquidation leverage there. 91,657. Is it possible that we come down here and scoop these? Well, I certainly hope not, because that would mean my trade. I mean, we could. 91,800 is totally fine. Thanks, Britt, for the $1.50 super chat. I appreciate you on. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right. 92,420. Smoke them if you got them. All right, let's check in here. Open interest, not really. I mean, but we did have a big dive of open interest from here to here. I think that's probably a lot of short positions closing. We have to cross-reference that with CVD. CVD perp definitely moving down. CVD spot is selling. I mean, very important to see if we hit the 98,100. People are really selling into this move. You can see the volume imbalance there at the bottom of the candle. What do we see there? 3.5K Bitcoin traded there just on Binance. Negative delta 446. Current candle has a negative delta. There's a nice little volume pop there. 92,123 and struggling. Good to buy the breakout. No, I mean, look, you can see open interest like steadily increasing throughout this area. And that could be longs loading up because you see open interest really start to drop as price starts moving up. So I would say those are likely shorts getting smoked, shorts putting on positions here, and then shorts getting smoked. I think I'm going to... Let me take a quick check here. Check my XRP trade. All right, XRP hit TP1. I'm going to put out, so I think I'm going to put out that alert for the team. So we had TP1. We're back at break even on XRP. We're going to go ahead and close out XRP just to reduce risk a little bit. But I'm actually probably going to add on Bitcoin here. Yeah, I'm adding. Let's go. Yeah, we're just going to mark it. There we go. And we'll keep my main TP here the same, 95,000. Yeah. So that's going to be, with that ad, that's going to be a $3,000 trade. or 3,000 P&L. But I shouldn't talk like that. Never count your chickens before they hatch. Yeah, I'm gonna buy. Buy when there's blood in the streets, boys. No guts, no glory. This did push my risk up to 2% on the day, but that's fine. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Something about that 10 daily exponential moving average gets me going. What can I say? Thank you, Brittany. I'm excited as well. Although I think you're gonna... I'm a little rusty on the guitar. All right, what's Ethereum doing? Ethereum made that same charge. Ethereum about to nuke the market. Ethereum got stopped out. That sucks. Ethereum got stopped out. We made profit on XRP. Yeah, you know, that's what everybody was saying too. Well, not everybody, but that's what a couple people were saying in the Discord, that Ethereum is going to nuke the market. And it sure is. Look, Ethereum leading the move to the downside. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's fine. I'm okay with it. What do we do with XRP though? Oh, we already took care of XRP. It's fine. All right. Yeah, it's all good. You little devil, you, Ethereum. You messing up my 3-day in a row win streak. Look at you there. Just your little Ethereum. Just the one to tank the whole market. All right, well, I mean, overall, this doesn't super scare me. So I'm just going to continue doing what I said I was going to do. BTC, overall plan is going to remain the same. I'm going to buy here. We'll see what Ethereum does. Getting a bit of a buyback here so far. I feel you, Tyler. I feel you. But I can't. That's not a good way to trade. Like, I'm not. None of these are daily. None of these are daily positions. I already shorted Bitcoin from 97.9 and 95.7. And yeah, and I didn't add the daily swing longs here on BTC. We're not adding the daily swing longs until 85. All right, got buyers attempting to defend. Very good. And you know, and in fact, Tyler, you might be completely right. We might wick down to the 90s and then kind of find that. That'd be a pretty big deviation, but nothing crazy. Let's see what's Dogecoin doing? Dogecoin's doing the same thing as Ethereum right now. What are the alts doing? XLM's heading lower. HBAR's trying to bounce. Ohm did not successfully break out. Algorand's trying to bounce. Pepe's falling. Bohm is falling. Goat's falling. Cardano at the buy zone. What's going on with the Qs and the SPY? They're both pumping. I mean, not pumping. They're just grinding a little bit higher. Fresh 1 hourly short signal on Minx though. Fresh hourly continuation short signal on Ethereum. Fresh hourly continuation short signal on Solana per the Minx strategy. So make sure you guys join the group. You guys can get that strategy automated. Yeah, exactly, Tyler. Yeah, exactly for the same reason why I'm not going to flip my intraday bias. It's not even my bias. It's just I put on the trades. I'm in the trade. One of my biggest mistakes, the way I have lost the most money day trading, is by reacting to price action. My strategy is to, okay, where are key levels? Cool. Is this a good key level to bid? I'm going to bid it. Is this a key level to ask at? I'm going to ask here. And then just let the trade play out, whether I'm right or wrong. And if I just do that and I don't try to pivot intra-trade, I make way more money. When I try to be like, oh, I think prices are going to go down, I should actually short here at the lows, I don't make a whole lot of money. Now, I'm not saying price doesn't go down, but I'm just saying if price goes down, I will lose money today. If price goes up, I will make money today. And nothing's going to change that. Nothing that price can do is going to change that. I will not be hopping into a short. We'll just chill. Because that was my bias in the morning. I'm not going to flip my bias later on in the afternoon. Tomorrow's another day. I'll come in, see a different trade setup, win or lose, period. It's the trying to catch every movement that gets you into trouble. Just plan out your trade, plan the trade, trade the plan. And, you know, sometimes you guys are going to be trading opposite of me, and that's totally fine. I encourage that. I want you guys to be thinking for yourselves and coming up with your own ideas and trading your own accounts. And liking and subscribing on YouTube. Liking and subscribing on YouTube. All right, nice push, 92,615. Can we reclaim the point of control and flip it as support? I mean, that's another just basic bull market strategy too. All you need is the 4 hour and the 5 minute, or you could do the 10 or the 30. That's fine too, but VWAP's a little bit more readable for me on the 5. You just VWAP with 2 standard deviations, 4 hour, some trend, whether it's super trend or a moving average or whatever. If your 4 hours bullish, then you just buy pullbacks into the value area low. And you sell at the value area high. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If your 4 hours bearish, you short the value area high and you cover at the value area low. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. That's my computer telling me you have too many screens open, Justin. Department of Government Efficiency currently consolidating at approximately $211 million market capitalization. I do think that Department of Government Efficiency is going to be hitting 1 billion, potentially 10 billion like Pepe. I think it's the right meme. I think it's the right narrative. Here is Alex's Brill that I've been monitoring. Okay. Wow. I should have bought this right when he told me to. Things up a nice 30%, looking good. Oh, that's right. Old Boy did launch a new Peanut the Squirrel coin today, or yesterday, called Justice. Yeah, is it this one? I got to make sure I get the right one. Yeah, it's this one because they were talking about, yeah, it's just 1 day old, and they were talking about like a $50 million market cap. Let's go to the 15 on market cap. So yeah, we reached 165 million market cap, and we've already pulled back to 38 million. This is supposedly the coin launched by the owner of Peanut the squirrel. Rest in peace, Peanut. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe look for that breakout of 60 million market cap. Maybe we can go back to 100 million. Holders. Actually, let's go look at this on GMGN. Here we go. It's not trending. Justice. C87. Hold on a second. Justice. Dot pump. GP4B. Yeah, this is Solana. DCAGM UMP. I think that's right, isn't it? DCAGM, yeah, there it is. Here we go. Load up to 5 minute, and let's, yeah, I don't want to refer to earn. All right, let's go look at activity from smart degens. Are they buying or selling? No data found. What do you mean? No? All right. What are the KOLs doing? Some of them, 2 bot here. Bot, and then they all sold right here. Bot. Whales. Yeah, those are bots. What are the top holders doing? Top holders haven't sold yet. Unless, did they sell the top? Nah. Top holders haven't sold yet. The dev fucking bought and sold immediately. Although maybe he was just playing around. Am I cooking right now? Nah. Just looking, seeing if I see anything that looks good. I mean, I made some good money off the Peanut the Squirrel coins, except for this one. This one right here. The main one I made money off of, and then I bought this one. And this one right now just really hasn't done crap. Which is fine. You know, you win like 2 out of every 10 meme coin trades if you're lucky. But you just got to be consistent. So, I don't know. I might buy some Justice. It's not looking too bad. What the snipers do. Oh, I want to be on GMGN. Come on, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big though. Snipers bought and sold immediately. Whales, they're just all, what, botting right now? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. A lot of bot activity right now. That's not super convincing to me either. What, did nobody sell the top? It was important? Apparently not. Greedy. They're taking up, Andrew says they're taking up valuable oxygen someone else could use. Who's that? Squirrels? Oh, absolutely, dude. I mean, that was just one of the most heartbreaking stories, you know. Listen, I can be a pretty emotional guy, you know, like, you know, it's not hard to, you know, it's not hard for a movie to make me cry. All right. I'm not going to lie. But, man, it's just heartbreaking, man. It's just absolutely, it's a complete travesty, man. Especially, you know, because I wasn't a follower of that guy, but obviously I went and watched some of the videos, of course, when all that hit the news, and it's just, I mean, it's so heartwarming, you know, how close this man was with the squirrel, how cute the little thing was, you know, the bond that they had. And for these people to just break it and murder this thing, absolutely. I mean, it's not the America my ancestors died for, man. Absolutely not. Things are changing. So it's supposed to be base season, but I don't have my whale watcher list for base. I got some wallets I watch on Sol, and I got some wallets that I watch on Ethereum. That's kind of my strategy. I don't really like to step outside of my strategy too much. Justice here doesn't look too bad. Let's just go see, yeah, holders. All right, so yeah, the largest holder. The largest holder hasn't sold. Yeah, the top 5, yeah, the top 6 largest, none of the top holders have sold. I mean, almost the top like 40 haven't sold, which is a pretty good sign, honestly. $30 million market cap. I mean, I might take a swing at this. I want to connect Telegram. Why can't I just sign in with my Phantom wallet? Thank you. What we got going on here? Hold on, guys. Let me check something. Oh, wait a second. No, I think I transferred that over to my Rabby wallet. Right? Yeah. mean, that's fine. Can I can just use dbridge, right? Make sure BTC signal 1 hour time frame. Yeah, that signal's now open. So the strategy, I mean, my strategy is going to take that. Let's look at what it wants to do. Hello, there we go. It's going to stop at 93, approximately like 93,685, and it's going to target 95,49, 88, and 87. What my automated system is doing right now, the MIG strategy. Intraday, I'm still going to trade against it because that's what I said I was going to do. Give me a sec here, guys. Huh. I could sell that. I could sell that too. I think that's a good narrative. I say we just sell a little. Slim, no. All right. All right, so I need to get Slim. We've got Parcel. We've got Metaplex. Here we go. ST bot. I'm gonna sell a little bit of this. This hasn't done too much. Yeah, like $1,000 of this. Yeah, no crap, Tyler. I follow a socialist podcast, and when they covered Peanut, their first take was, "This is how libertarians are made. This makes us want to say the government." Do I hold Stonk memecoin on Solana? No, I don't hold Stonk. Come on. Let's get loaded. All right, I got about 402,000. Oh, we had a nice little pop today on the daily. That's good. I sold ST bot. This is like 25% of the bag that I had. I sold at like, I really, this was a pretty good trade for me because I sold at like 70 cents. I sold at 60 cents. I sold some at 50 cents. Or not 0.905. Obviously held 25% of it down here. But I just need a little bit of capital right now. So we're going to sell into Solana. Yeah. Oh, what? Like 100,000? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's almost like one soul. I'm happy with that. Thank you. Over to GNGN. Let's go. Do we see, by the way, do we see any smart degens? Nope. All right, so we're gonna go 0.8. Ah, I got to do that with the Telegram bot. All right, that's fine. Nin says, looks like it's holding the bottom on Ethereum. Gosh, I hope so. This, guys, I love Dex Screener, but GMGN is just such a better trading interface because this is the big complaint that I have. This is like my only complaint about BYDFi. Overall, I love everything about BYDFi, but it just doesn't show you where you're like this and like you can click and drag and move these things around. I just really wish they had that. I keep advocating for them to add it. Pepe. Let me find Pepe. I mean, Pepe was already at like $10 billion market capitalization. So Pepe is going to have some pretty big swings. Let's go to the daily and throw our EMAs on. Yeah, I mean, Pepe didn't find support at the 10 DEMA. Let's go back and look. But guys, I can't be bearish. I honestly believe everything's just going to continue to move up. I don't know how big this dip's going to be. This might be a mild dip. Again, to like 85 is what I talked about. But again, 85 means altcoins are probably going to keep pulling down. But listen, it's not rocket scientists. It's not rocket science to bet on the Pepe community. I mean, they've been doing admirably well. So, I mean, as far as pullback targets, I mean, obviously we've got our 21, or excuse me, our 30. It's going to take me a while to get used to that saying. We've got our 30. Why do we not have? Thank you. We've got our 30 DMA coming in at 1623 and our 50 DMA coming in at 1430. So that's usually my buy zone during bull market pullbacks. All right, if the 10 DMA doesn't hold. So this is a nice zone. With regards to price targets, I mean, we're in blue sky breakout territory, so we really only have one option available to us, and that's going to be trend-based fib extensions or just measuring our off of market capitalization. And we're kind of talking about the big dog. That makes it more difficult because literally Pepe is what we're using to gauge other meme coins, how high they can go. Doge and Pepe. What did I even do here? Like, I feel like I'm having a fever dream. Trend-based fib extension. So low to high to low. Then we had low to high to low. All right, so first time we did about a 1.382. What? I don't need all this dramatic stuff, dude. There we go. Or, maybe a 1.236 is actually what we saw. Yeah, 1.236 is exactly what we hit on the nose. And here we hit a 1.382, it looks like. Yeah. And then as far as pullbacks, again, this is a little bit more speculative, but what did we do? Yeah, we did a 618 pullback. We did an 886 pullback, which is fine. And let's just measure from the bottom to the top. 618 pullback right now is going to bring us back to that 50 DEMA at about 1391. And let's just account for an 886. And so I'll give you two next price projections. So let's account for that. Oof. I don't even want to do the 886. Let's do the 786. Give you some hope, man. I don't want to send you home in a body bag. Okay. So top to bottom to bottom. Let's do a projection for if price pulls back to the 50 DEMA at approximately 1430. I would expect price to go between 4090 and 4550 on the next leg up, which is going to be anywhere from 196 to the upside to 227 to the upside. If instead it does something like high to the 786, then my projection would be if it pulls back instead to something like 1080, which is more synonymous with the 200 SMA, then I would be looking for price to go to somewhere between 3519 and 3941. So here or here would be my next targets. So let's just, I kind of want to get rid of some of this stuff on the chart, but let's go get here. Let's go get this zone, and then okay, so now we can get rid of this one. Yeah, let's get rid of the extensions. 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 Get rid of the extensions, I said. Thank you. And then we basically have our pullback zone right here. There we go. Okay. So potentially another like 30% to the downside, and then looking like maybe another 200% up. That's not going to work. Let's do regular. How much to hold? I mean, that question doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, that all just really depends on your capital and your portfolio. I mean, you've got the ultra diversification, you've got the super diversification method, which is going to be like, hey, you know, don't hold more than like 1% of your portfolio in meme coins. I think that's like way too rigid. You're not going to make any money like that. You're also going to, you know, obviously just the more you risk on less stable assets like meme coins, your profit potential goes up quite high, but your risk also goes up quite high. Now, I'm also not from the super diversification camp. I think you should pick 5 to 10 assets and just hold them and not screw around with everything else. And, you know, swing trades if you want to be more active with your investment. That's my approach. So, you know, 5 assets, typically you want like some big dogs. So something like, you know, 20 or 30%. And I mean, that's 50% of your portfolio right there, 2 or 3 of those. And so, you know, something like, if you really want to bet big on Pepe, I mean, I would say probably don't go over 5% of your portfolio. So, I mean, but again, with size, I mean, that's completely relative to your portfolio. Again, Pepe was at like a $10 billion market capitalization. So, I mean, you could certainly buy like $1 million of it, or you could buy, you know, $100 of it. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by like minimum baseline. Like that doesn't make sense to me. It's not as if like there's, oh, you got to have $1,000 worth of Pepe for it to go up. First off, $1,000 of Pepe is going to buy you a wildly different, you know, amount of Pepe at any given point of the day or week. So I would say if it was me, if I had $100,000 portfolio, I would put no more than I mean, 10,000 for me sounds pretty safe, because if this thing rips, you know, 200%, you know, you're going to be making a great return. Obviously, again, like you can scale that up if you want to take a lot more risk, because Pepe has also, you know, fulfilled the burden of proof. It's already pumped up quite nicely and proven that it can continue to go up. So likely it's going to continue to do so in a bull market. So if we're putting your portfolio together, I would say probably don't. I'm not a big advocate of going over 5% of your portfolio in meme coins. But again, I mean, the exact opposite approach is favored by a lot of people where they're like, no, dude, you need to be going all in on meme coins. I'm not really there. I'm not really there. I mean, all that's fine if you're trading with less than $100,000. But once you have like a sizable account, you just can't go full on degen. 5% is fine. All right, so far Bitcoin has found support at about 92,553. 92,481 is where we're currently sitting at right now. This is exactly where we found support previously earlier on in the day. Obviously, this is right in my buy zone. So we already doubled up. We already made a nice push. Wasn't able to hit 95,000 yet. So we're either going to consolidate and break down here on Bitcoin. Let's see what Ethereum's doing. Ethereum deviated below current levels of support at 3,300, honestly, and stopping me out. On our Ethereum long, XRP popped up to our first TP, came back down to the break even. And I closed the trade out just to manage risk. So we already made profits here and here. So our XRP trade for the day was a win. Ethereum trade for the day was a miss. And we're just going to see how Bitcoin evolves throughout the day. All right, do a quick ad. I probably need to be doing the ad earlier on in the day. So I want to thank BYDFi for being the exchange partner of the Cracking Crypto Show for the crypto market update. It is the exchange I'm currently trading on. You guys can enjoy over 600 pairs, 0% spot trading fees. They are currently running a promotion where you can deposit. If you deposit, you will get 10% cash back on your first week of deposits. That's good up to $10,000. So you make a deposit, you actually get 10% of that in cash back as a trading bonus. So free money to trade with. Let's see here. What else? And if you use the link in the description, you will get a VIP level 1 fee advantaged account, which will do 3 things for you. 1, it will immediately double your 24-hour withdrawal limit so that you can withdraw more BTC. 2, it will give you 17% off all your trading fees. Of course, that only applies to the futures and derivatives markets because, of course, you'll be enjoying 0% spot trading fees. But 17% off your fees is nothing to sneeze at. And 3, you'll have the opportunity to enter into our exclusive community trading competitions and other activities that BYDFi puts on for our community. So check out the link in the description. That's partner.bydfi.com/s/cracking crypto to take advantage of that. partner.bydfi.com/s/cracking crypto. And thank you to ByDFi for sponsoring this portion of the live stream. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go over and scroll Twitter and see what we got going on today. Yeah, some nasty things happening on Pump Fun. Yeah, so listen. Let's check this out. Andrew Tate may have scammed his community again. He made over $3 million during his last live stream, but his crypto past is even darker. Here's the truth that he doesn't want you to know. Yeah, so listen, I watched a little bit of that Tate live stream because I thought, you know, hey, you got somebody, you know, coming in with a couple $1 million, going to pump the markets. I'll jump in. But that's not what it was at all, man. Like the second he would mention a coin, if you didn't have a sniper bot, right, that sniped it immediately, I mean, the market moved up a little bit. And if like just the ability for you, like even if you were all ready, because I had the screen there, I had Pump Fun, I had Deck Screener, I was ready to go. By the time you even like put in an amount and hit the button, they were already selling off. So I already read the report earlier that said that the coins that, you know, were supposedly that he was picking at random were coins that wallets that were linked with him had already previously accumulated. And again, as soon as people started buying, he just started dumping on them. So this just seems like, again, another, yeah. All right, that's enough of that. I don't need to listen to that. Cryptocurrency wallet Ledger's new update allows governments to access users' seed phrases via subpoena. Interesting. Yeah, this is particularly about the Recover program. Yeah, I mean, very true. I mean, to really enjoy the privacy and freedom of Bitcoin in a sovereign way, you've got to do some work. AI will be incredible. Man, AI is absolutely insane right now. Let's see here. Now, all these people shouting about tariffs are friggin' idiots, man. It's like they're just obsessed with they're obsessed with the economy being bad. I don't think they understand, like, you don't have to like Trump. You just have to understand that that man has two things that drive him. He wants to be a successful economic president and a successful foreign policy president. He's that his ego, his self-worth, everything about him is driven and tied to that. He wants to win. Again, idiot, 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 idiot. All right, what do we got on the following? No. No. Why? $5,000 investments that are worth $1 million today. Bitcoin 9 years ago. Nvidia 10 years ago. Tesla 14 years ago. Netflix 16 years ago. Apple 20. So yeah. So Bitcoin is the most recent, like, yeah, most recent big move. Skew saying the Bulls ain't got no balls. The Biden White House was directly exerting censorship pressure on American companies to censor American citizens. Zero members of Congress owned any MicroStrategy as of end of year 2023. Will be interesting to see if that changes next year. Yes, it will. We got you, man. Andrew, you getting paid, bro. All right, we got Zeus diving into MOM on Solana. All right, so let's go ahead and favorite this one. Oh, let's go check out this mom. That was 22 minutes ago. Still at that, underneath that 500K market cap. DQ8 WHF pump. Yep, this is it. I mean, I normally like looking at the market capitalization, but how do I switch it over to price? Yeah, I mean, hold on a second. Oh, there. I was like, Jesus, come on, man. I was like, just not scrolled up on top of the thing. Yeah, MOM pumping pretty nice. Can we hit to 1 million market cap? 63% to the upside. Just scalp 20 puppies. Good for the day. Good, man. You love to hear it. All right, so this is going to be our tell on whether this guy actually posts good good alpha. It's like we got mom's definitely moving today on crypto Twitter. Currently 652,000 market capitalization. Obviously, just the first target would be 1 million market cap. Be about 50% move to the upside. And we'll favorite it and check back in on it tomorrow. All right, are we going to get justice for Peanut the Squirrel? We want to know. Lot support. About 36 million market cap. We had already previously reached 170. Let's see if we're going to take another run at it. Sometimes it's just not the case. You know, we haven't, you know, this thing ran, pulled back, just really hasn't been able to make the upswing. We've seen the distribution. The main holders haven't sold yet. And so we'll see what we can get accomplished today. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap up for the day. Let's check back in with Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin just kind of grinding lower. Ethereum, yeah, lower high, lower low so far. Of course, obviously got stopped out on that kind of big push intraday. Solana, lower low, lower high. XRP still just grinding it out at the point of control. Doge, lower low, lower high. So, I mean, listen, as I said earlier, overall, I guess I'll leave you guys with this. As far as the daily time frame is concerned, if we don't get a bounce here from approximately the 10 daily exponential moving average up to about, and again, we did get a push up to about, we didn't quite hit 95. We didn't quite hit 95. We hit 94,766. I was thinking that we could hit 95, 96, but maybe that was the recovery pump that we saw. Maybe that was the opportunity to load up shorts intraday, and now we're just going to grind lower. Again, we don't really have support until, you know, between 85 and about $88,000. Sliding down, we have our 30 daily exponential moving average here on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin doesn't bounce here, then altcoins are likely going to slide along with Bitcoin. The only thing that's going to be salvaged is whatever meme coin happens to be pumping intraday. Again, Ethereum, if we don't get a bounce here, same from the 10 DEMA, then we're going to see prices want to come back down here into the previous buy zone between about 3,050 and 3,200. And then, of course, XRP, same thing. We don't really have support until our previous consolidation zone here at about 215. Or wait, sorry, that was Solana. Solana, I meant that on, excuse me. Solana on 215. And again, 10 DEMA on XRP. XRP, again, has the bullish exuberance of the American squad, but we don't really have support down here into our previous consolidation level of about $1.08. And Dogecoin as well, looking to break down below the 10 DEMA. A lot of support here, a lot of consolidation, but if we do end up breaking down, I mean, there's not a whole lot below us, but our first moving average is going to be at 31 cents. So trade safely, guys. Again, be careful. You know, if the market is going to pull back a little bit more, just manage your highly leveraged positions. It's completely fine just to take a breather and sit out for a couple of days until the market bottoms out a little bit, and then we can swing back into swing longs, because of course we are in a bull market. But in a bull market, things are going to take breathers. It's absolutely fine. The cycle's not over. You don't need to sell spot. Bitcoin's only down 6%. It might go down another 10 or 15%. It's totally fine. You don't got to freak out. But if you're in a position where you're in trades that are highly leveraged or in positions that are going to really suffer and you can't stomach that drawdown, well, then you need to take the opportunity to de-risk and just get yourself into a healthier position. Everything's just not going to go up all the time. And it's kind of one of those classics like, hey, you were just a little bit too late to the party. And, you know, now you're being exit liquidity for this particular phase, this particular leg of the cycle. But it's all right. We're going to have another higher low at some point in time, and you'll get the opportunity to get in and ride that beautiful green wave to the upside. So I want you guys to trade safely. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you found value in today's content, don't forget to subscribe, slap a like or a follow on the video. Highly appreciated. Go follow me over on X at cracking_crypto. Join our free Discord so you can get amazing insights, advice, and signals from providers like myself, Shiris, and Reflex. And if you guys are serious about trading and you want to get the morning alpha report, the evening alpha report every single day, see exactly what I trade, have access to our premium indicators, our weekly mentoring sessions, and much, much more. I can't even define how much more. Make sure to join the team at crackingcryptocurrency.com and go check out ByDFi and get your sign up bonuses. Links are down in the description. We will not be live streaming tomorrow because we will be live streaming tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow morning. I will see you guys then. Trade safely, and I'll post some more updates on Discord this evening. Cheers now.